The Liberal Democrats have arrived, bringing the small town of Oswestry in North Shropshire to a standstill this morning.
Hello, how are you?
And stopping the Conservatives in their tracks as well by taking one of their safest seats and celebrating with a not-so-subtle visual metaphor. The party leader couldn't be here as he's at home with COVID, but he shared this moment on social media. North Shropshire has always been a Conservative stronghold through boundary changes and Labour landslides, until last night when a huge swing to the Liberal Democrats of 34% created one of the biggest shifts in British political history. It comes after weeks of sleaze and scandal, first involving the area's Conservative MP Owen Paterson, who quit amid lobbying allegations, followed by that video of Downing Street staff laughing about an alleged party said to have taken place last Christmas against COVID rules. But the area's new MP says this is much more than just a protest vote.
They want to send a message to the Tories. Is that what this is really about?
Well, I think it's about this whole message of being taken for granted has really resonated. You know, you can't just make empty promises to people and then not keep them. Eventually the truth catches up with you.
As the votes were being counted last night, the scale of her victory became clear.
Morgan, Helen Margaret Lillian, Liberal Democrats, 17,957.
In the end, she won with a margin of almost 6,000 votes. For the Conservatives, though, a humiliating defeat, leaving their candidate facing tough questions.
This is one of the safest Conservative seats, and you've lost it. Does the party now need to change? Does the Prime Minister need to change?
We're 11 years into a Conservative government. By-elections are never an easy thing to do.
That's not the reason for this, though, is it? Well, it's the sleaze and the scandal.
If you let me finish your question. But of course, we do need to reflect upon the result, and I'm sure as a party we will do that.
Under mounting pressure to take responsibility, the Prime Minister wanted to change the subject and appeared to accuse the media of focusing on the wrong issues.
I understand that what voters want us as the government to be doing at all times is to focus on them and on their priorities. The real issue that I think people want to focus on is what we're doing to sort out the NHS.
If it was in the interests of the country, if it was in the interests of the Conservative Party, would you resign?
Sam, can I just remind you everything I've been saying throughout this interview, which is that is exactly the kind of question that qualifies, that breaks the golden rule. What we're focusing on is getting the job done.
So is this just a tough few weeks for the Tories, or is it part of a deeper trend?
There's certainly no doubt that the Conservatives have suffered quite substantial loss of support. It's not as yet, according to the polls, in quite as deep a hole as John Major was for much of the 92 to 97 Parliament, but in truth, it is not that far off it.
Back in North Shropshire, peace has been restored after weeks at the centre of a political storm. No such respite, though, for the Prime Minister, with some of his own MPs now questioning if he can weather this difficult period. He faces a very tough road ahead.